Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. After that, we have seen some characteristic of microprocessor. So we have seen characteristic like the size of the processor or the width of the bus. There are two types of bus, three types of buses, mainly the control bus, the address bus, and the data bus. But the importance is on the data bus as well as the address bus that you have. So if the address bus size is more, the more number of memory you can connect. If the size of the data bus is more at the given time, you can transfer as much of data as possible. Okay, so these are some of the important characteristics of a microprocessor. Another important characteristic was the uh, frequency, clock frequency. So if higher the clock frequency of a microprocessor, more is the speed of a processor. Okay, so right now we have seen something about generic microprocessor. The new topic is very important. Okay, and that is something which is called as 8086. Okay, so just write down 8086 microprocessor. ओके इसके अंदर दो या तीन तीन मेजर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स है ओके फर्स्ट यू शुड नो अबाउट द आर्किटेक्चर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर 8086 you should know about the pin diagram of this, you should know the addressing modes. Okay, so these are the three main important pin diagram plus you can say the features. Okay, so these are the three major questions that they generally will ask on 8086. Only these three things we'll be learning and plus some instructions. Okay, so that will be covering in the practicals, but majorly for theory perspective only these three questions will be asked definitely for sure, and it will carry at least 20 marks. At least 20 marks will be there for sure. So in तीन question में से कोई दो question तो for sure will come in the paper. Okay, so what is 8086? 8086 is a microprocessor. That is clear. Is it clear? It is clear.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is a microprocessor? Microprocessor is nothing but it is a processor. It performs an operation. Okay, it performs an operation onto a program and onto a data. And these programs and data are generally present in the memory, and these processors are connected to input-output devices. So, what is a microprocessor? Microprocessor is nothing but it is a processor that you have. This processor is nothing but it is connected to memory, and it is also connected to I/O devices. Okay, so this is something which is called as a microprocessor. Only this part we are going to study. 8086 is only this part. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
There
sir.
is also a term which is called as a microcontroller. Microcontroller may be यही चीज होता है, but all these things are there on a single chip, and that chip is something which is called as a microcontroller. So microcontroller include processor, include memory, it include I/O devices, but microprocessor include only the processor part. सिर्फ और सिर्फ processor जो रहेगा उसको हम microprocessor बोलेंगे. Is that clear? It does not include memory, it does not include I/O devices. Is it clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll just quickly see the evolution of microprocessor. Evolution कैसे हुआ? So this 8086 was developed by Intel. Okay, I'm sure everybody know what is Intel. Everybody knows. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Intel was the company which introduced these microprocessor. So the first microprocessor built by Intel was 4004. Okay, that was the first processor. This was a 4-bit processor. Okay, this 4-bit processor was not a stable processor इन्होंने बनाया, but उतना कुछ stable नहीं था. Okay, it was not that stable. Then came called as 4040. This was again a little bit changes was made into it. Again, it was not stable. It was not hit. It was a 4-bit processor. Then came 8008. It was a 8-bit processor. It was a bigger processor. Okay, it works on 8-bit of data. That is the new thing that you can do. Okay, it has a 8-bit ALU, but again it was not a stable one. Okay, इसके अंदर ज़्यादा addressing mode नहीं थे, इसके अंदर functionality उतना नहीं था, pipelining करके कोई concept नहीं था. Okay, it was not at all usable. It was not proper usable. Okay, so commercial purpose के लिए you cannot use it. It was made, but it was made for specific programs. हर एक program के लिए it was not made. Okay, then came which was called as 8080. It was also a 8-bit processor. Okay, yeah, इसमें भी कुछ changes किए गए. 8-bit 8080 8008 में भी कुछ changes किया गया. वो change करने के बाद 8080 बना. 8080 के बाद जो अगला प्रोसेसर था, it was called as 8085. Okay, it was a 8-bit processor, and you can say this was a first stable microprocessor. It was the first stable microprocessor. Okay, and it was a commercially hit processor. Okay, so it was used in numerous commercial products. Okay, especially heard about Brick Game. Heard about Brick Game? Have you heard about Brick Games? Heard about that?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yeah, so there is a game that you have in between. You have a screen, you have some buttons over here. Okay, So that game is generally called as a brick game, and that brick game generally uses 8085 microprocessor, which is a 8-bit processor. Okay, so yeah, so those are the different processor that you have. Okay, so अगर आप कोई भी COA का सब्जेक्ट अगर आप पढ़ोगे या माइक्रो प्रोसेसर पढ़ोगे, आप दो प्रोसेसर पे ज्यादा फोकस करते हो, which is 8085 और 8086. इन दोनों किसी एक प्रोसेसर को आपको पढ़ना पड़ता है in order to understand any processor, because these are the two most stable processors. Okay, ये सबसे पहले stable processor थे. So 8-bit was one of the most stable processor. Then came 8086. Okay, 8086 आया. This was the first 16-bit processor. ये पहला 16-bit processor था और ये एक stable processor था. So because of the stability and because of the 16-bit, 8085 को overtake कर लिया 8086 ने, because majority of the applications or majority of the program were able that was able to be executed by 8086. Okay, because 8086 was a you can say was a faster processor compared to 8085, and it also introduced the concept of something which was called as a pipelining. Okay, so pipelining के concept को इसने introduce करवाया, which was a very big thing. Okay, then it also has the same architecture is split into multiple parts. Okay, which led to the foundation of pipelining also. It is made up of it works on 3 different clock frequencies. ये सब चीजें इसके ऊपर है, that will be discussing in features. But yeah, 8085 was a 8-bit processor, 8086 was a 16-bit processor. Remember that. Okay, so 8085 was also stable, 8086 was also stable. Both were most stable one and most commercially used. Even in today's world, we are using 8086 as a microprocessor. Okay, numerous places we are using it. उसके बाद 8086 के बाद came 80186, then came 80286, then came 80386. Okay, these were all tweaks were made on the 16-bit processor. ये सारे के सारे 16-bit processor थे, but इसके अंदर कुछ ना कुछ changes किए गए. क्या changes किए गए? जो pipeline था वो it was a 2-stage pipeline. This was made a 3-stage pipeline, 4-stage pipeline, 6-stage pipeline. So this was 6-stage pipeline which was made. ओके, सो ये कुछ चेंजेस किए गए, मतलब उस लेवल को 8086 को थोड़ा एडवांस किया गया. ओके, न्यू केम आउट ऑफ 80186286 286 और 386 में कुछ नया नहीं आया, जस्ट दे हैव इंक्रीज्ड द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी ऑफ द प्रोसेसर. ओके, इज दैट क्लियर? इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear? Then came the most commercially, or you can say not only commercial, but it was universally accepted even as a desktop PC also, which was called as the first Pentium. So Pentium came, and it was the first 32-bit processor, which came. Then came Pentium 2. Okay, then came Pentium 3. After this came dual core. Dual core के बाद आया Core 2 Duo. Okay, Core 2 Duo के बाद आया i3, then came i5, then came i7, then came i9. So currently we are over here. So you can say the current processor that we are having, it is a 64-bit processor. It also has a pipelining, but this pipelining is not the pipelining that we are using in 8086. It is something which is more of a number. So इसके अंदर we have total 64-stage pipelining. Okay, in i9 we have 64-stage pipelining, and there is also introduction of a new concept which was introduced in Pentium, which is called as a threading. So it also includes threads. Okay, so what are those? That we'll be discussing later. Our main focus is on this processor. Okay, because अगर आपने 8086 को समझ लिया, you can understand i9. At least 80% of the processor of i9 you can understand easily, because it is completely based on the same philosophy which was 8086 was made on. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
clear? So now we'll be learning about 8086. Okay, so just write down the first topic in 8086 called as the features of 8086. Features of 8086. Very important question. Right, generally comes in first question also, or can come along with some sub questions. So first question में क्या पूछा जाता है? Right, 5 features of 8086. Okay, so what are the features? First of all, what is the first feature? It is a processor or controller, microprocessor or controller. What is it?
Processor.
It is a microprocessor. Please keep on noting it down. It is a microprocessor. Second, what is the size of the processor? What is the size of the processor? It is a
8-bit, 16-bit.
16-bit processor. It is a 16-bit microprocessor. That is the second important thing. Okay, since it is a 16-bit processor, that means the ALU का size क्या होगा? What will be the size of the ALU? ALU is 16-bit. बराबर, यानी 16 बिट पे आप एडिशन कर सकते हो. 16 बिट पे यू कैन परफॉर्म एडिशन, you can perform subtraction, you can perform multiplication, you can perform division, etc. So all these operation can be done on 16 bit के data पे. So thus we can say that 16 bit का ALU होगा. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It also means all the SFR. What does the SFR stand for? Special function register. All the SFR and all the GPR. What does GPR stand for? General
General
purpose
purpose
registers. So all the SFR and GPR are of 16 bit. It is of 16 bit. So अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि ये 16 बिट का प्रोसेसर है, इसका मतलब उसका ALU 16 बिट का होगा, उसके SFR 16 बिट के होंगे, उसके GPR 16 बिट के होंगे. So if I say i3 is a 64-bit processor, that means i3 will have an ALU of 64 bit, it will have SFR of 64 bit, it will have GPR of 64 bit. Is that clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what is a register? Register is nothing but it is a temporary place where you store the data or the address. Okay. So SFR का मतलब it is a special function register, यानी ये register का कुछ खास मकसद होता है. And GPR is general purpose register, इसका मतलब इसके अंदर आप कोई भी data store कर सकते हैं. Is that clear? Is point number 2 clear to you? Point number 3. Point number 3, it works on 3 clock frequency. Okay. So just write down it works, or 8086 works on 3 clock frequencies. Okay, what are the 3 clock frequencies work on? So 8086, it works on 5 megahertz, 5 megahertz. Then we have something which is called as 8086 1. It works on 10 megahertz. And we have 8086 version 2. It works on 8 megahertz. Okay, so we have got 3 set of frequencies on which your 8086 works. Okay, generally we try to use this processor which works on 5 megahertz. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go to the next point. Point number 4. 8086 has, or it has 16-bit data bus. It has 16-bit data bus. Is that clear? How many bus we have?
3.
How many? 3. So pehla data bus is of 16-bit. That is for clear. That is clear. Yeah, tak clear hai. It has
Yes, sir.
20-bit address bus. It is very important. It has 20-bit address bus. So यानी डेटा बस 16 बिट है, यानी एक टाइम पे 16 बिट के डेटा को फेच कर सकता है, उसको डिकोड कर सकता है, उसको एग्जीक्यूट कर सकता है 16 बिट के डेटा को. ओके, एड्रेस लेकिन 20 बिट का होगा. सो डेटा जहां से आएगा उसका जो एड्रेस है वो 20 बिट का होगा. सो इट हैज अ 20 बिट एड्रेस बस, व्हिच इंप्लाइज, व्हाट डज इट इंप्लाई, व्हाट इज द साइज ऑफ द मेमोरी दैट यू कैन कनेक्ट टू. टोटल मेमोरी कितना सपोर्ट करेगा 8086? कैन समवन टेल मी? इट हैज maximum
1
memory.
megabyte.
Yeah, it has maximum memory supported as it is, since we have got 20-bit ka bus, we have got 20-bit address bus. Thus the maximum or the location that is connected is, or the number of locations that we have is 2:20 locations, which is equal to 2:10 into 2:10 locations, right? Which is equal to 1k into 1k locations, which is equal to 1 million locations. And on each location, how many data I'm storing? 1 byte of data. Thus, the total maximum memory that I can connect up to is 1 megabyte. And which memory am I talking about? It is a RAM that I can connect to. Is that clear?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
So the maximum memory that I can connect is 1 MB. So it completely depends on the memory जो आप connect कर सकते हो. It completely depends on the size of the address bus. तो अगर आपको किसी ने बता दिया कि आपके प्रोसेसर के अंदर एड्रेस बस का साइज क्या है, कैन यू टेल द मेमोरी आउट ऑफ इट? व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ मेमोरी दैट यू कैन कनेक्ट टू? कैन यू से दैट?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what you need to do, अगर जो भी बिट बताया आपको, let's say 32 बिट का एड्रेस बस है, तो it is 2:32 locations you can connect. On each location you can store 1 byte of data. So find 2:32, get its value. So I think it is 1G into 2:1, so it is 2G. एंड हर लोकेशन पे आप 1 बाइट का डेटा स्टोर करते हो तो टोटल मेमोरी कितना होगा? 2 GB होगा. is the total size. Is that clear? So if you know the address bus, you can find out the memory. If you know the memory, can you find out the address bus that it supports? You can find ना. अगर मैं 1 million आपको बता दूं, can you find out what is the total the maximum number of address bus that it has? Can you tell me? Yeah. The other way around is also possible, right? So अगर मैं आपको बोलूं 1 million byte का memory है, can you find the total number of memory or the size of the address bus? Yes, you can do that. आपको क्या करना है? From 1 MB, you can find out that there are total 1 million locations. Yeah, you just need to go the reverse step. Okay, so you can find out the address bus. So you can say the address bus or the width of the address bus, that is the proper term, width of the address bus is directly proportional to the size of the memory. Is that clear? So higher is the width of the address bus, more is the size of the memory. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, what was the point number 7? Okay, so 8086 works in 2 modes. It works in 2 modes, which are does diploma student know which are?
Sir, EU.
No, it is called as minimum mode and maximum mode. Okay, what is the meaning of this? 8086 को आप दो मोड में चला सकते हो. One is called as a minimum mode and other is called as a maximum mode. What is the meaning? If you want to work just on 8086, अगर standalone processor चलाना है, okay, तो आप मिनिमम मोड में चलाओगे. अगर आपको कोई और प्रोसेसर को साथ में कनेक्ट करना है, इफ यू वांट टू वर्क ऑन मल्टी प्रोसेसर, ओके, तो आपको मैक्सिमम मोड में चलाना पड़ेगा. आर यू गाइस गेटिंग इट? आर यू गाइस गेटिंग इट? सो 8086 को आप दो मोड में चला सकते हो, एक मिनिमम मोड में और मैक्सिमम मोड में. मिनिमम मोड में मतलब सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही प्रोसेसर होगा, विच इज 8086. अगर मैक्सिमम मोड में चलाना है, have 8086 also. I've got a processor called as 8087. I've got a processor called as 8089. These are maths processor and the IO processor that we have. ये साथ में आप लगा करके you can connect with 8086 and साथ में आप instead of just working one processor at a time, I can work with 2 processor or 3 processor at a time. So this is nothing but what is called as a maximum mode, and this is something which is called as a minimum mode. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And in order to decide that whether I want to work in minimum mode or max mode, there is a pin on 8086. 8086 एक IC है, उस IC पे एक पिन है जिसका नाम है MN/MX bar. इस पिन पे अगर मैंने 1 पास किया, तो it will be working in which mode?
Standalone.
Yeah, which is the minimum mode. So अगर मैंने 1 पास किया, it will be working in the minimum mode. And if I pass 0, that means it is working in a MX bar. MX bar is 0 का bar is 1. That means MX is active now, right? So it will be working in maximum mode. In that case, I can connect multiple processors to it. यानी जब भी आपको 8086 को मल्टी प्रोसेसर से कनेक्ट करना है, मल्टीपल प्रोसेसर से कनेक्ट करना है, इन दैट केस यू नीड टू पुट MX बार पे आपको 0 डालना पड़ेगा, उस पिन पे आपको 0 पास करना पड़ेगा. और जब आपको उसको स्टैंड अलोन चलाना है, इन दैट केस उस पिन पे आपको क्या पुट करना पड़ेगा? 1. इज दैट क्लियर? इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
So I can say that 8086 works in 2 modes. Okay, what are the 2 modes? One is the minimum mode and second is something which is called as a maximum mode. Is this point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is point number, this was 7, point number 8. Okay, point number 8 is, it is a pipelined processor. It is a pipelined processor. Okay. What is a pipeline processor? It is a very big topic and guaranteed 10 mark के लिए एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है. Explain the working of pipelining in processors. Okay, it is a part of computer architecture and organization जो subject है आपका, and it will come mostly in third module. Third module में discussion आएगा. But right now I will tell you what is a pipelining, what is a pipeline processor. Processor के अंदर what will happen? 8086 का अगर आप architecture देखोगे, it is divided into 2 part. Okay, 2 part में होगा. The first part is something which is called as a BIU. The second part is something which is called as a EU. Okay. So BIU is nothing but it is called as a bus interconnect unit. यानी ये इसका एक काम होगा which is fetching of the instruction, and EU का काम होगा decoding and executing. Okay. So पहले part में it will perform fetch, दूसरे part में it will perform decoding and executing. किसको? इंस्ट्रक्शन को. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be done by BIU and this will be done by EU. Okay, so because it is a two-stage pipelining, that means I can perform two instruction at a time. दो instruction पे एक time पे मैं काम कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so that is the advantage that I get out of it. Okay, yeah, I'll just try to switch the camera so that you can understand. Yeah, please pay attention. Am I visible to you? Am I visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Listen carefully. This is my processor. This is my processor. This processor is basically what is it is doing. What is the task of a processor? It needs to process the instruction. Instruction को process करना. Instruction को process करने के लिए we require three stages. Listen carefully. What are the three stages that is required? Number one, fetching of the instruction. पहले instruction को fetch करना है. Number two, decode the instruction, understand the instruction, what is the meaning of the instruction. Okay, that is the decoding of the instruction. Number three, after understanding, execute the instruction. Okay, is that clear? These are the three life cycle of the instruction. Please write it down somewhere. It is one of the three important life cycle of any instruction that you can think of. कोई भी instruction अगर आप देखोगे वो ये तीन phases से गुजरेगा. What are the three steps? Fetch, decode, execute. Fetch, decode, execute. Is that clear? So I fetch the instruction. Second, I decode the instruction. Third, I will execute the instruction. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, और एक बार repeat करूँगा.
I'll repeat again. An instruction will get executed. Instruction को execute करने के लिए आपको तीन cycle से उसको गुजारना पड़ेगा. The first cycle is you need to fetch the instruction. उस instruction को पहले आपको fetch करना पड़ेगा. कहाँ से fetch करना पड़ेगा? Memory पे जाना पड़ेगा. Memory से जाकर के उस instruction को fetch करना पड़ेगा. After I got the instruction, who has got the instruction? Who has got the instruction? किसके पास आया? Memory से किसके पास आ गया? Instruction memory में, program is in memory, right? You everybody agrees? Program is in memory.
Yes, sir.
मैंने उस memory से instruction को fetch किया. Instruction क्या है? It is a part of a program. मैंने उस एक instruction को लिया और fetch किया. कहाँ पे fetch किया? Who fetched that instruction? किसको perform करना है? किसको operation करना है? किसको करना है? कौन करेगा ऑपरेशन? प्रोसेसर. सो फेचिंग इज डन बाय होम? प्रोसेसर. कहां से फेच करेगा? फ्रॉम वेयर इट विल फेच?
Memory.
मेमोरी. इज दैट क्लियर? यहां तक क्लैरिटी मिल चुका है? तो फर्स्ट स्टेज क्या है? फेचिंग ऑफ द इंस्ट्रक्शन. सेकंड स्टेज, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट इंस्ट्रक्शन, बिकॉज इंस्ट्रक्शन किस फॉर्म में होता है? मेमोरी में किस फॉर्म में आप इंस्ट्रक्शन को रखते हो? इट इज इन फॉर्म ऑफ व्हाट? डेटा किस फॉर्म में होता है? इंस्ट्रक्शन किस फॉर्म में होता है?
प्रोग्राम.
डेटा किस फॉर्म में होगा? प्रोग्राम आप प्रोग्राम है, आपको कंपाइल करना होता है. कंपाइल करने के बाद इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू बाइट कोड. व्हाट इज बाइट कोड? इट इज 1 and 0s, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is something which is called as 1 and 0s. Okay, so byte code आप fetch कर रहे हो. You're fetching what? You're fetching 10101010. This is what you're fetched. But will processor understand that? What is the meaning of 10101010? For that, it needs to understand. For that, it needs to understand what is the meaning of that code. So that is something which is called as decoding. Decoding का मतलब ये जो byte code है, ये जो op code है, basically the term is something which is called as op code. What is the meaning of that op code? Whether it is performing addition operation, whether that op code means subtraction, whether that op code is division, multiply, XOR, and or whatever is the meaning, that you need to find out. तो एक table होगा, एक छोटा सा table होगा, उस table में आपको op code दिया जाएगा और उस op code का actual meaning क्या है वो table में उसके दूसरे कॉलम में होगा. सो प्रोसेसर क्या करेगा? उस op code में जाएगा, सर्च करेगा ये op code का मतलब क्या है. जैसे उसको सर्च करने पे उसको मैच मिला, whatever is the value, it will understand what it needs to do now. The processor will understand कि उसको करना क्या है. Is that clear? So पहले मैंने क्या करना है? पहले मुझे क्या करना है? फेच करना है. किसको फेच करना है? Just tell me the answer. इंस्ट्रक्शन को फेच करना है. कहाँ से फेच करना है? कहाँ से फेच करना है?
मेमोरी से.
कौन फेच करेगा? कौन फेच करेगा? प्रोसेसर फेच करेगा. प्रोसेसर फेच करने के बाद अब क्या करेगा? Will it understand directly or it needs to decode it?
Decode करेगा.
So second step क्या है? Decoding. What is the meaning of decoding? Whatever is the meaning of opcode, it will try to find out the meaning of that opcode. Okay, is that clear? And how will it find? On the basis of the lookup table. एक table होगा, उस table में एक column जो है वो opcode होगा, दूसरा column is the meaning of that opcode. What is the actual meaning of that opcode? Okay. After finding out, next क्या करेगा? What it find out कि इसको करना क्या है? अब क्या करेगा? Will it execute that instruction or it will wait for some more time? थोड़ा आराम करेगा. What it will do?
Execute.
It will
Execute.
execute it. So that is the third step. That is the third step. So first step, repeat again. What is the first step?
Fetch.
Fetch
First step,
करेगा.
fetch the instruction.
Fetch.
Second is decode the instruction. Third is
Coding.
Execute.
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 Is that clear? Is that clear? Is this step clear?
Yes.
Fetch, decode, execute.
sir.
हाँ.
Yeah. So always remember fetch, decode, execute. Fetch, decode, execute. Fetch, decode, execute. So let's say अगर मुझे instruction 1 को execute करना है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा? Instruction 1 को fetch करूंगा, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
उसी इंस्ट्रक्शन को मैं डिकोड करूंगा, उसी इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा. ये करने के बाद अब मैं जाऊंगा सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन के बाद. सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन को फेच करूंगा, उसको डिकोड करूंगा, उसको एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा. इज दैट क्लियर? यहाँ तक क्लियर है?
Yes, sir.
अगर मैं प्रोसेसर को दो पार्ट में तोड़ रहा हूँ, वन इज कॉल्ड एज फेच यूनिट, या इसको मैं बीआईयू बोलूंगा, और दूसरे पार्ट को मैं एग्जीक्यूशन यूनिट बोलूंगा. पहले पार्ट का काम क्या है? व्हाट इज द पार्ट ऑफ फर्स्ट पार्ट? टू जस्ट फेच द इंस्ट्रक्शन.
Fetch.
जस्ट अ सेकंड, वेट फॉर अ सेकंड. So what I was trying to say is, if you have a processor, and that processor will have two parts. Okay, time है ना हमारे पास? Yeah, we have got half an hour. So we have got two parts. Okay, one before. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So ये दो पार्ट है. एक पहला पार्ट को मैं बोल दूंगा fetch unit, और you can call it as a BIU unit, and दूसरे वाले पार्ट को execute unit मैं बोल दूंगा. Okay. The first part का काम क्या है? What is the role of the first part of the processor?
Fetch
प्रोसेसर को मैंने डिवाइड किया, सिर्फ और सिर्फ फेच करने का काम है. ओके, और दूसरे का पार्ट का काम क्या है? दूसरे पार्ट का काम क्या है?
Execute.
डिकोड करना और एग्जीक्यूट करना. दूसरे पार्ट का काम डिकोड करना और एग्जीक्यूट करना. अगर मेरे पास दो ऐसे पार्ट हैं, मैंने इंस्ट्रक्शन 1 को मैंने फेच किया. आर यू गाइस गेटिंग इट? इंस्ट्रक्शन 1 को मैंने फेच किया विद द हेल्प ऑफ फेच यूनिट. इस फेच यूनिट को, इंस्ट्रक्शन को फेच करने के बाद मैं सेकंड पार्ट को दे दूंगा, और सेकंड पार्ट का काम क्या करेगा? डिकोड और एग्जीक्यूट करेगा. राइट?
Yes,
राइट?
sir.
किसको करेगा? इंस्ट्रक्शन 1 को करेगा. आर यू गाइस गेटिंग इट? जब तक ये डिकोड और एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा होगा, क्या मेरा फेच यूनिट उस वक्त खाली होगा? विल माय फेच यूनिट इज एम्प्टी राइट नाउ. सो उस टाइम पे, जब तक ये खाली रहेगा, उसी टाइम पे मैं क्या करूंगा? सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन को फेच कर रहा होगा. जब पहला इंस्ट्रक्शन इज गेटिंग डिकोडेड एंड एग्जीक्यूटेड, उसी टाइम पे आई एम फेचिंग माय सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन. इज इट क्लियर? इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
उस दौरान जब सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन फेच हो चुका होगा, फर्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन मेरा एग्जीक्यूट और डिकोड और एग्जीक्यूट हो चुका होगा, मैं सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन को एग्जीक्यूशन यूनिट को दे दूंगा, और वो उस इंस्ट्रक्शन को, सेकंड इंस्ट्रक्शन को अब क्या करेगा? डिकोड करेगा और एग्जीक्यूट करेगा. आर यू गाइस गेटिंग इट?
Yes, sir.
उस टाइम पे वापस फेच यूनिट मेरा खाली हो जाएगा. उस टाइम पे मैं क्या करूंगा? थर्ड इंस्ट्रक्शन को फेच करूंगा. राइट?
Yes.
So what
Yes,
is
sir.
what is happening? Normal अगर ये एक ही प्रोसेसर होता, अगर एक ही प्रोसेसर होता, listen carefully, अगर प्रोसेसर के पार्ट्स नहीं होते, if it was a standalone processor, यानी वैसे भी standalone प्रोसेसर ही है, but अगर there is no concept of pipelining, तो क्या होता? I would execute instruction. I will just fetch instruction 1, decode instruction 1, execute instruction 1. Fetch instruction 2, decode instruction 2, execute instruction 2. Fetch instruction 3, decode instruction 3, execute instruction 3. बराबर? Was this the step that I need to follow? अगर मैंने पाइपलाइनिंग किया तो क्या होगा? Listen carefully. What will happen? Fetch instruction 1. उसके बाद execute instruction 1, execute instruction 1, execute instruction 2, execute instruction 3, execute instruction 4. तो क्या हो रहा है? It is happening. Fetch, execute. Why? Because parallelly something is happening which is called as fetching. समझ में आया आपको? Are you guys getting it? So what is happening? जो मैं time waste कर रहा था for fetching of the instruction, that I can apply, that can be avoided by performing the concept of pipelining. So पहले fetch, decode, execute, fetch, decode, execute, fetch, decode, execute हो रहा था. अब क्या हो रहा है? Fetch, execute हो रहा है. Okay? Every time a new instruction is getting executed, but at backend the fetching is also happening. But वो previous cycle में हो रहा है. So what does processor will feel like? That it will execute the next instruction every time. So it will not waste time for fetching the instruction. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
And this concept is called as pipelining. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm doing is I'm simultaneously executing multiple instructions. एक साथ multiple instruction को मैं overlap करके उसको execute करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. So while instruction 1 is getting executed, instruction 2 is getting fetched. While instruction 2 is getting executed, instruction 3 is getting fetched. While instruction 3 is getting executed, instruction 4 is getting fetched. So what it feels like कि मैंने पहली बार fetch किया, उसके बाद मैं execute. That is what I am doing. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So which will be faster? Will doing fetch, decode, execute, fetch, decode, execute, fetch, decode, execute will be faster, or fetch, execute will be faster?
Fetch, execute.
Pipeline.
Execute. Yeah, that pipeline will be faster. Why? अगर मेरे को 3 इंस्ट्रक्शन को अगर मुझे let's say 3 इंस्ट्रक्शन को मुझे रन करना है, so how many machine cycles will be required? पहले मशीन साइकिल फेच करने के लिए, दूसरे मशीन साइकिल डिकोड करने के लिए, तीसरे मशीन साइकिल एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए. किसको? इंस्ट्रक्शन 1 को. वैसे इंस्ट्रक्शन 2 के लिए भी 3 मशीन साइकिल लगेगा, इंस्ट्रक्शन 3 के लिए भी कितना मशीन साइकिल लगेगा? 3 machine cycles. So how many machine cycles are required for executing a 3 instructions?
9.
9. If I'm using a pipeline processor, pipeline के लिए fetch for instruction 1, execute for instruction 2. While you're executing the instruction while you're executing the instruction 1, उसी cycle में you're fetching what? Instruction 2.
2.
So कितना लगेगा? Fetch, you will just fetch instruction 1, execute instruction 2, execute instruction 1, execute instruction 2, execute instruction 3. So कितना cycle लगेगा? How many cycles will be required? Just 4 machine cycles are required. So you are able to save 5 machine cycles. So that is how you try to increase the speed of the processor. Okay, the modern processor, which is the i9, 8086 has a 2-stage pipeline. The i9 has 64-stage pipeline. So at a moment, how many instructions you can work on? 2-stage pipeline पे आप 2 instruction पे work कर रहे थे. 64-stage pipeline पे आप कितने instruction पे एक साथ पे work करोगे? Work on how many instruction at a time? 64 instruction will be done at a given time. एक time पे आप 64 instruction पे work कर सकते हो. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
तो इसका मतलब वो प्रोसेसर का स्पीड क्या होगा? It will be 64 times higher than the normal processor. Okay, so अगर आपको प्रोसेसर का स्पीड बढ़ाना है, you can speed up the processor by increasing the size of the processor. You can speed up by increasing the size of the ALU या रजिस्टर का साइज आप बढ़ा सकते हो. लेकिन एक मोमेंट के बाद, अगर आपको याद होगा, i3 भी 64 था, i5 भी 64 था, i7 भी 64 है, i9 भी 64 है. उसके बाद से 64 बिट का किसी ने 128 बिट का प्रोसेसर नहीं बनाया. व्हाई? क्योंकि आप उससे मैक्सिमम स्पीड आप ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. आपका प्रोसेसर जो है वो उतनी ही स्पीड पे वर्क करने वाला है. अगर आपको स्पीड बढ़ाना है, अब वो आप कैसे कर सकते हो? बाय यूजिंग द कंसेप्ट ऑफ पाइपलाइनिंग. सो पाइपलाइनिंग गिव यू अ लाइसेंस. पाइपलाइनिंग विल मेक श्योर कि आपका प्रोसेसर का स्पीड आप बढ़ा सकें. इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
So this is 8086 was the first pipeline processor. Is my screen visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So 8086 was the first pipeline processor, and it supports two-stage pipeline. And it supports two-stage pipelining. So just write down that point. And how it supports, because it divides the processor into two parts. One is called as a BIU, and the other one is called as a EU. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I'll repeat the point again. It is a pipeline processor. 8086 has two-stage pipelining. How it supports two-stage pipelining? Because it divides its architecture into two parts. One is called as a BIU and other is called as a EU. The full form of BIU is Bus Interconnect Unit, and the full form of EU is Execution Unit. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have something which is called as a point number 9. Point number 9 is it uses memory banks. 8086 uses odd and even memory banks. Okay. So what is this? This is the concept of memory segmentation. You can just write down 8086 uses odd and even memory banks. And this phenomena is basically called as memory segmentation. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? यानी मेमोरी जो है वो एक ही मेमोरी में नहीं रखेगा, दो अलग अलग बैंक रहेगा. एक ऑड मेमोरी, उसमें ऑड एड्रेस वाली मेमोरी रखी जाएगी और एक में इवन मेमोरी रखी जाएगी. सो अगर इसको समझना है तो आसान तरीका क्या है, आपने बुक देखा है, बुक एवरीबॉडी इज अवेयर विद द बुक, राइट? अब हर एक ने बुक देखा होगा. बुक में देयर इज एक तरफ अगर आप देखोगे देयर इज अ ऑड पेजेस, एक तरफ देखोगे तो आपके पास क्या रहेगा, इवन पेजेस, राइट? या सो व्हाट इज द नीड ऑफ हैविंग दैट पेजेस? आप बुक को फ्लिप बुक की तरह क्यों नहीं रखते? आप बुक को दो पार्ट में क्यों डिवाइड करते हो? व्हाई वी डिवाइड द बुक इनटू टू पार्ट्स? द एडवांटेज इज दैट आप एक मोमेंट पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा कंटेंट आप पढ़ सकते हो, राइट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 8086 also uses the same philosophy. ज्यादा से ज्यादा डेटा को अगर मुझे एक्सेस करना है, that can be done with the help of the memory segmentation. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, एक साथ दो मेमोरी ब्लॉक को मैं फेच कर सकूंगा. I can just in a single machine cycle I can fetch two blocks of data from two different places. One I can fetch it from odd place, other I can fetch from even place. Okay? So अगर वो जैसे for example अगर आपने बुक देखा होगा, so this is page number 1. अगली बार क्या होगा, पेज नंबर 2 और 3 यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. अगली बार क्या होगा, 4 और 5 यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, राइट? So this you can call as a odd page. This you can call as a even page. Is this clear?
Yes,
Is this
sir.
clear? If you want to access page number 1 and page number 2, आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, दो बार पेज को स्वाइप करना पड़ेगा, राइट? पहले एक पेज पे रीड करोगे, अगली बार आप दूसरे पेज को मोड़ना पड़ेगा, फिर आपको मिलेगा, राइट?
Yes, sir.
अगर आपको डेटा ऐसे एक्सेस करना है, यू विल रिक्वायर 2 मशीन साइकिल्स. अगर आपको डेटा 2 और 3 अगर आपको एक्सेस करना है, इफ यू वांट टू एक्सेस पेज नंबर 2 एंड पेज नंबर 3, कैन यू एक्सेस एट अ सिंगल मशीन साइकिल? आप क्या करोगे, बुक ओपन करोगे जहां पे पेज नंबर 2 और पेज नंबर 3 है, आप एक ही साथ में रीड कर सकते हो, राइट?
Yes, sir.
आर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कंसेप्ट? ये कंसेप्ट समझ में आ रहा है आपको?
हाँ सर.
Yes.
सो अगर सिर्फ क्योंकि बेसिकली 8086 का डेटा कितने बिट का है, डेटा बस कितने साइज का है? 16. इसका मतलब कितने डेटा को एक साथ ये यूज करेगा, या फेच करेगा, या डिकोड करेगा, या एग्जीक्यूट करेगा?
16
कितने?
data.
16 बिट के डेटा को, 16 बिट के डेटा कितने मेमोरी लोकेशन पे स्टोर होंगे? एक लोकेशन पे कितना डेटा स्टोर होता है?
8 bit.
8 बिट. 16 बिट डेटा कितने लोकेशन पे स्टोर होगा? दो लोकेशन पे. यानी मुझे एक मोमेंट पे दो लोकेशन को एक्सेस करना पड़ेगा. अगर मुझे ये वाला डेटा और ये वाला डेटा अगर एक्सेस करना है, सो बिकॉज दे आर नॉट सिंक्रोनाइज्ड और दे आर नॉट इन अ सेम पेज, ये अलग अलग पेज पे है, thus I can say that I will require 2 machine cycles. अगर वो एक पेज पे होंगे, I will require 1 machine cycles. अगर मैं ये वाला पेज लूंगा 4 और 5, then I can get it in 1 machine cycles. Are you guys getting it? अगर मैं क्या करता, अगर ये एक ही फ्लिप बुक जैसा रखता, यानी एक पेज के बाद दूसरा पेज, दूसरे पेज के बाद तीसरा पेज, तीसरे पेज के बाद चौथा पेज, तो मुझे अगर दो ब्लॉक को अगर मुझे एक्सेस करना होता, every time I would require 2 machine cycles. लेकिन by using memory segmentation, I can get the data in just 1 machine cycle. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing because at a given time you can access 2 block cycles और 2 डेटा ब्लॉक्स और 2 लोकेशंस का डेटा आप एक ही मशीन साइकिल में एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो. जस्ट लाइक इट इज बेस्ड ऑन द फिलॉसफी. अगर आपको 2 पेज को रीड करना है, यू कैन रीड 1 इवन पेज एंड 1 ऑड पेज. इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
So 8086 was the first processor which supports memory segmentation. After this, all the other processor, even the today's modern computer that we have, it also supports memory segmentation. लेकिन ये memory segmentation उस केस में it is quite big. Okay, उसमें ज़्यादा बड़ा है. अगर आपने देखा होगा RAM, किसी ने physical RAM देखा है किसी ने? Has anybody seen the physical RAM?
हाँ sir.
It looks like this, right?
हाँ.
अगर आप उस फिजिकल रैम पे अगर आप देखोगे, एक यहाँ पे एक चिप होता है, एक यहाँ पे चिप होता है, यहाँ पे
Yes.
Yes, sir.
हाँ हाँ
Yes,
हाँ.
sir.
अगर आप ये देखोगे, these are nothing but these are memory banks. Okay, this is page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4. तो DDR4 में अगर आप देखोगे गौर से, तो उसके अंदर 4 पेजेस होते हैं, यानी एक मोमेंट पे there are 4 banks that you have. Okay, so जो प्रोसेसर होगा, वो प्रोसेसर क्या करेगा, यहाँ से एक्सेस कर सकता है, यहाँ से एक टाइम पे 4 ब्लॉक्स को एक साथ एक्सेस कर सकता है. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
तो दैट इज एडवांटेज दैट यू गेट. लेकिन 8086 के अंदर जो रैम यूज होगा, उसके अंदर उस रैम के अंदर 2 ही मेमोरी ब्लॉक्स अवेलेबल होंगे. वन इज कॉल्ड एज अ ऑड ब्लॉक, अदर इज कॉल्ड एज अ इवन ब्लॉक. ओके, सो एक मोमेंट पे वो ऑड एड्रेस पे जाकर के भी डेटा ले सकता है, उसी मोमेंट पे इवन से भी ले सकता है. तो यानी अगर उसको 16 बिट का डेटा चाहिए, तो वो क्या करेगा, 2 जगह जाएगा, वहां से एक जगह से 8 बिट लेगा, दूसरी जगह से 8 बिट लेगा. एक मशीन साइकिल के अंदर यू कैन गेट कंप्लीट 16 बिट का डेटा. इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is possible by doing a process which is called as a memory segmentation. So instead of storing all the memory in a given place, I'll be dividing the memory into 2 parts. One is called as a odd memory and other is called as a even memory bank. Fine. Yeah. So that is the end of the different characteristics, or you can say the features of 8086. I'll repeat again. What are the different features of 8086? First, it is a microprocessor. Second, it is a 16-bit microprocessor, thus which implies that its ALU, it has a ALU which is a 16-bit ALU, it has a SFR which is a 16-bit SFR, it has a GPR which is a 16-bit GPR. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then it works on 3 different clock frequencies. The base version of 8086 works on 5 megahertz. The 8086 version 1 works on 10 megahertz. 8086 version 2 works on 8 megahertz. So it works on 3 different clock frequencies. Okay. Yeah. So out of this, which will be faster? Can someone tell me? Out of the 3 versions, which will be faster? इन तीनों में से फास्टर कौन सा होगा? 8086, 8086-1 या 8086-2?
शायद वर्जन 1.
वर्जन 1
1.
जिसकी क्लॉक फ्रीक्वेंसी ज्यादा है, नेचुरली वो फास्टर होगा. So 8086 will be much faster compared to 8086 and 8082. Okay, then it has got a 16-bit data bus. That means it will try to fetch, decode, and execute 16-bit ka data at a given time. Okay, it can carry 16-bit ka data at a given time. It has got 20-bit ka address bus. What is the meaning of 20-bit ka address bus? यानी the address of any location that you have, यानी मेमोरी का कोई भी लोकेशन को अगर आपको उसका एड्रेस अगर देना है, वो एड्रेस 20 बिट का होगा, which implies that you can connect up to 1 megabyte का memory with 8086. Okay, thus the maximum memory that can be connected to 8086 is 20. Also is 1 megabyte. Why? Because it has got 20 bit ka address bus. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Then point number 7, it has got 2 working mode. It can work in either minimum mode or it can work in maximum mode. What is the meaning? Minimum mode means it will work standalone. Maximum mode means it will work with some other processors like 8086, 8087 or 8089, which is 8087 is called as a math processor. 8089 is nothing but it is called as the IO processor. So we have got some other processor along with 8086. We can use the other processor in order to work with it. Okay. Does your modern processor work with other processor? Does your modern processor work with other processor, or it works standalone?
Multiprocessor.
It works on multiprocessor. Example, you will be having not only CPU, you will be having GPUs as well, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
So अगर आपको graphic engine use करना है या graphic कोई game use करना है, you require a graphical processing unit, right? You will require GPUs. Okay. उसके अलावा there is something which is called as a DSP, which is called as a digital signal processors. Okay, so अगर आप digitally कोई भी, जैसे for example mobile के अंदर there is a gyroscope sensors, right? Heard about that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
या अगर आप जैसे कोई भी डॉक्टर ड्राइव गेम खेलते हो, you tilt your mobile phone and उसके उस position के हिसाब से your car will move, right?
हाँ सर।
So ये tilting के ये digital को ये जो information है आपका कि कितना tilt कर रहे हो ये information को भी process करने की जरूरत है, and that is done generally by DSP, which is another set of processors. So multiple processors will work together and they will perform they will provide you that information. Okay, so modern processor भी maximum mode में work करते हैं. 8086 was the first processor which supported maximum mode. But along with maximum mode, it also has a minimum mode. So अगर आपको सिर्फ 8086 चलाना है, that you can do that by putting MN का जो पिन है उस पिन पे अगर आप 1 पुट कर दोगे, it will work in minimum mode. और MN/MX बार पे अगर आपने 0 पुट किया, it will work in maximum mode. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Point number 8, it is a pipeline processor. How many pipeline है इसके पास है? What are the different stages? It has got 2-stage pipelining.
BIU and
So the first stage is generally called as a BIU, and the second stage is generally called as a EU. Okay. Point number 9. It has a memory segmentation. That means the memory is divided into 2 banks. The first bank is called as a odd bank, and the second bank is called as a even bank. And what is the advantage that you get? The fetching of the data or storing of the data can be done in exactly 1 machine cycle. So 16 bit का अगर आपको fetch करना है या उसको store करना है, that can be done exactly in 1 machine cycle because you are able to access both the banks at a given time. So आप odd bank को और even bank को एक time पे ही access कर सकते हैं. Is that clear? This is clear.
yes, sir.
So that is the different features of 8086. The next topic is something which is called as the architecture of 8086. Okay, so I won't be drawing the diagram because it is quite hectic. I'll just go to Google. Okay, is my screen visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
I'll just go to Google and I'll just write down 8086 microprocessor architecture diagram. Okay, I'll just click on it. I'll just go to images and yeah, so this is the architecture diagram that I have. Okay, so kindly see to it that you draw this diagram. Yeah, just draw this diagram. Okay, I hope it is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just take a screenshot of this. मैं इसको crop कर देता हूँ, फिर मैं इसको PPT में डालता हूँ. Yeah, so draw this diagram, all of you. या तो स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया स्क्रीनशॉट.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just change the color. I'll make it as a black. Okay, so we have got this as the architecture diagram. If you look closely, I've got this architecture diagram divided into 2 parts. Are you guys able to see this? One is called as a BIU and other is called as EU. What is the use of these 2 parts? Why we divide it into 2 parts? In order to achieve something which is called as
H1B. Pipelining.
pipelining. If I want to achieve pipelining, I need to achieve it by dividing the overall architecture into 2 parts. The first part is something which is called as a BIU, stand for bus interconnect unit. Okay, it is called as a bus interconnect unit. Okay, what is the use of this BIU? You can call it as a bus interface unit also. Yeah, interconnect bhi bol sakte. So interconnect is nothing but interfacing. You can call it as a bus interface unit also. दोनों एक ही चीज है. Okay, so this bus interconnect unit or bus interface unit is connected to basically something which is called as a memory. आप memory से उसको connect करते हो, and what it does, its whole and sole purpose is to fetch the
Fetching the instruction.
And the second part is something which is called as a EU, which stands for
Execution unit.
execution unit. Okay, and its whole and sole purpose is to perform two operations. One is called as, क्योंकि 3 साइकिल है ना मेरे पास, fetch, decode and execute, तो बचा क्या?
Decode and
execute.
Decode and execute. So decode and execute will be done by execution unit. Okay, so if you can look carefully over here, there is something which is called as control systems, right? दिख रहा है ये?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This will perform the decoding. This will perform the decoding. Okay, the whole part, the other full part. Okay, ये बाकी जो part है आपका dotted line के नीचे वाला part, the other part जहाँ पे ये कुछ ऐसा trapezium type का diagram बना है, यहाँ पे जो कुछ registers है, they all perform the execution unit. और ऊपर वाला part will perform the fetching part. Is that clear? So this part will perform fetch, this part will perform the decoding, and this whole part will perform the execution. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So how it is done? How it is done? Listen carefully. Okay, this part is very important. एक बार ये कहानी समझ में आ गई, you can just write down in your own words. Okay, you don't have to memorize this. Okay, it is completely quite relevant. Okay, एक बार समझ में आ जाएगा, आपको हर चीज समझ में आ जाएगी. Okay, so listen carefully. We have got something which is called as a memory interface. Memory interface मतलब यहाँ पे क्या connected होगा, इसके ऊपर क्या होगा? We have something which is called as a memory. यानी ये जो पार्ट है, ये डॉटेड लाइन में आपको दिख रहा है, these are all what? ये क्या है?
Yes, sir.
It is a processor. These are the internals of the processor. Okay, is that clear? Is that
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Within the processor we have got something which is of this shape. ये shape में आपको दिख रहा है? एक काम करता हूँ, मैं draw ही कर देता हूँ, ज़्यादा better होगा. So we have something which is called as a memory interface. Okay, so यानी यहाँ पे क्या है? Memory है. Okay, this memory is connected with the processor. ये processor से connected है. It is connected to processors. Okay, after connected to processor, it is connected to something of this sort. ये दिख रहा है आपको वहाँ पे?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is this? This is a representation of something called as ALU. अगर ये दिख रहा है इसका मतलब this is nothing but it is an ALU. That is a circuit representation of ALU. Okay. What is this? Circuit representation of ALU. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So you just represent that with the help of summation. It is generally used to calculate physical address. Just write down PA. What does PA stand for? Physical address. So this whole circuit is generally used to calculate the physical address. Okay. So यानी address दो type का है मेरे पास. एक को physical address बोला जाता है और एक को offset address बोला जाता है और segment address बोला जाता है. तीन तरीके का address है. I've got physical address, I've got segment address, I've got offset address. What are these? We'll be discussing shortly. But using segment address and offset address, I'll be calculating which is called as a physical address, and this physical address will be put onto the memory. और उस memory से जाकर के मैं क्या लूँगा? I can get data or I can get instruction. Whatever is stored on that memory, या memory में दो ही चीज store होती है, या तो data store होती है, या तो instruction store होता है. तो जो भी उस address पे store होगा, can be data or instruction that I can fetch. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it calculates, this circuit will calculate, what it will calculate? The physical address. In order to calculate the physical address, it will require some registers. क्योंकि ये जो address है वो दो registers में store होता है. Okay, there are two types of registers. One is called as segment register, other is called as a offset registers. Okay, so there are 5 registers that we have. What is these registers? These are register का मतलब क्या होता है?
Temporary
Temporary storage.
Place. This is a temporary storage place जहाँ पे आप क्या store करोगे? What you store? The address. Address किसका? It can be of data also, it can be of instruction. Is that clear? किसी का भी हो सकता है.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have two types of address. One is called as segment address, and another is called as a offset address. Okay. So segment address को store करने के लिए will require something which is called as segment register, और offset address को store करने के लिए हमें लगेगा offset register. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे, ये जो पहले 4 दिख रहे हैं आपको ES, okay, we have CS, SS, DS. These are my 4 segment registers. Okay, what all I have got something which is called as ES, I've got something which is called as DS, I've got CS, and I've got SS. What does ES stand for? It stands for extra segment.
Extra segment.
DS stand for data segment, CS stand for code segment, and SS stand for stack segment. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then I have something which is called as IP. What does IP stand for? You guys remember that?
Instruction
Instruction
point.
point.
Instruction pointer. Okay, so instruction pointer is nothing but it is an offset register. It is an offset register. All four are segment register. IP is the only offset register. There is a reason of keeping IP over here. Okay, so ये 5 register को लेकर के it will calculate what? It will calculate what? It will calculate
Physical
what?
address.
It will calculate the physical address. It will calculate the physical address. Okay, it will calculate the physical address. And after calculating the physical address, it will put to the memory. ये क्या पे डाल देगा इसको? मेमोरी में डाल देगा. Okay, is that clear?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
clear? किधर गया? किधर गया? किधर गया? किधर गया? हाँ. So is this part clear? Is this part clear? I think मेरा टाइम हो चुका है ना.
Yes, sir.
बेटर ये है आप क्या करो, ये डायग्राम को ड्रॉ करो. आफ्टर ड्रॉइंग दिस डायग्राम जस्ट रिमेंबर जो मेमोरी होती है आपकी, वो मेमोरी के अंदर वी हैव गॉट मल्टीपल सेगमेंट्स. ओके, पहले सेगमेंट को हम बोलते हैं डेटा सेगमेंट, दूसरे सेगमेंट को हम बोलते हैं कोड सेगमेंट, उसके बाद वाले सेगमेंट को हम बोलते हैं एक्स्ट्रा सेगमेंट, और उसके बाद वाले सेगमेंट को हम बोलते हैं स्टैक सेगमेंट. ओके, सो आई हैव गॉट 4 सेगमेंट्स. इज दैट क्लियर? मेमोरी के 4 टुकड़े होते हैं. एक को डेटा सेगमेंट बोला जाता है, एक को हम कोड सेगमेंट बोलते हैं, एक को एक्स्ट्रा सेगमेंट बोलते हैं, एक को स्टैक सेगमेंट बोलते हैं. इज दैट क्लियर? इज दैट पॉइंट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
एज द नेम सजेस्ट, डेटा सेगमेंट के अंदर हम क्या स्टोर करेंगे? व्हाट विल स्टोर इन डेटा सेगमेंट?
Data.
We'll just store data. In code segment, what will store? What will store? Code segment में क्या store करेंगे? We'll store what?
Code.
Code, or you can say instruction. Extra segment में क्या store करेंगे? What is stored in extra segment? If your data segment is full, then the remaining data can be stored in extra segment. So extra segment में भी data store होगा. Okay? Stack segment में क्या store करेंगे? What will store in stack segment? We can store data. Okay, we can store data into stack segment. So data जो है वो आप stack segment में store कर सकते हो, extra segment में store कर सकते हो, या आप data segment में store कर सकते हो. Code जो है आप सिर्फ code segment में store कर सकते हो. Is that clear? ये part clear है?
Yes, sir.
And the address, ये जो memory है, because it is a memory, इस हर एक memory का address कितने bit का होगा? कोई बता सकता है? हर एक
20.
location का it is 20 bit. हर एक register कितने bit का होता है? हर एक रजिस्टर कितने बिट का होता है? बिकॉज 8086 इज अ 16 बिट प्रोसेसर, इसका मतलब रजिस्टर कितने बिट का होगा? 8086 is a 16 bit processor. Everybody agrees? 16 bit का है ना 8086,
Yes,
right?
sir.
If 8086 is a 16 bit processor, that means what does it mean? उसका ALU कितने बिट का होगा? ALU कितने बिट का होगा?
16 bit.
का. बाकी रजिस्टर कितने बिट के होंगे?
8 bit.
बाकी रजिस्टर भी 16 बिट के होंगे. SFR, GPR सारे के सारे 16 बिट के होंगे. सब 16 बिट का होगा ना. लेकिन एड्रेस हमारा 20 बिट का है. सो 20 बिट का एड्रेस आप 16 बिट के रजिस्टर में फिट कर पाओगे क्या? कैन यू फिट दैट?
नहीं.
नहीं. सो इसके लिए हमें 2 रजिस्टर की मदद लगेगी. इन ऑर्डर टू कैलकुलेट द फिजिकल एड्रेस, आई विल बी स्टोरिंग द एड्रेस 16 बिट का एड्रेस एक रजिस्टर में और बचे हुए 16 बिट का दूसरे रजिस्टर में. फिर ये 0 अप्लाई करके आई कैन फाइंड 20 बिट का एड्रेस. What is this? This will be discussing in the next class. Okay, so I'll be using one which is called as segment register, other is called as offset register. So by using segment register and offset register, I'll just multiply segment register with 10, and I'll just add the offset register with it, and whatever is the data that whatever is the address that I'll get, that address will become a 20-bit address. And using that 20-bit address, I can point out the respective locations, and I can get the respective data or the instructions from the respective locations. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So we'll be discussing the this particular architecture in the next class. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much. You can leave. If you have any doubt, you can stay behind.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I can totally understand it is quite confusing, but please see to it that you just read the book, or you can watch the videos. Problem is that if it would have been a class, it would have been a wonderful session. क्योंकि ये समझाने के लिए फिजिकली प्रेजेंट रहने के लिए आई नीड टू जंप टू दैट पर्टिकुलर लोकेशन, वहां पे जाकर के मुझे बताना पड़ेगा. बट ओवर हियर आई एम फेसिंग दैट प्रॉब्लम. आई कैन नॉट इंटरैक्ट एज फ्रीली एज पॉसिबल. ओके, सो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट आई एम फेसिंग. आई होप यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड माय सिचुएशन, राइट?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Jarur.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, actually it is one of the best topic to teach in the class. ठीक है, अभी ऑनलाइन चल रहा है तो चल रहा है। I'll just stop the recording.